and good stuff. He's still pushing forward, right? Until now. Today, we just got the first chink in Dana White's armor. He's preparing a card for Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia hit him back and go, this card is weak. We don't want it. Let's go ahead and push the date back. Let's do a better card, right? We've never heard that. No one has ever told Dana White no. Hey, what's going on, fight fans? Hey, this is Coach D, the Wild Man, coming at you again with another episode of Coach D Media. Now, you know I do a Coach D Media. I talk about all things combat sports related, from the highs to the lows. All right, let's go ahead and get back into it. Today, we're going to have a conversation about Dana White and the UFC. I know I just did one, but some more news just hit my feed, and I had to go ahead and talk about it. So let's go ahead and get into it. Is Dana White beginning to feel the pressure of trying to match up and still be the monopoly in mixed martial arts? Now, we all know what Dana White has done since the founding of the UFC and all the things. He's been the premier when it comes to combat sports. Now, is it starting to change? Yes. How big of a change? Only time will tell, right? And up to this point, Dana White has been bulletproof. No matter what's been thrown his way, he's been able to overcome it. Like when COVID hit and everybody had to shut down, Dana White said no. He went ahead and packed up the UFC and took it to Dubai, built everything in Dubai, and kept the sports going. You know, while everybody was staying home, he was making fights happen. So we had to give him the props for that, right? That shows him that he was thinking outside the box and he was able to get stuff done. And no one has ever been able to come close. One championship is making strides, but are they number one? Not really. They're still kind of either neck and neck or still number two, right? The PFL and Bellator just came online, and they're still starting to do big things. They're making some big waves, right? And they're starting to push and make a push towards where they want to go in combat sports. But so far, nothing has ever been able to touch Dana White in the UFC. Even with the lawsuits going on, you know, and and they're trying to get that, try to burn him, all that kind of good stuff. He's still pushing forward, right? Until now. Today, we just got the first chink in Dana White's armor. He's preparing a card for Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia hit him back and go, this card is weak. We don't want it. Let's go ahead and push the date back. Let's do a better card, right? We've never heard that. No one has ever told Dana White no, because it's Dana White's product, right? Whatever Dana wants, Dana White gets, because he's putting up the money, right? He's doing everything. Everybody is kind of dancing to his own tune because they want what Dana White can produce. If you're ESPN or Fox or whatever, right? A lot of views, a lot of eyeballs are going to come to your network, right? If Dana White's coming to your state, right? A lot of ticket sales are going to be sold, hotels, food, all that's coming from the Dana White and the UFC side. But when it comes to Saudi Arabia, none of that matters, because they run the show hook, line, and sinker. They're going to put up the money. They're going to put up the venues. They can pay fighters. There's nothing Dana White can hold over their heads to make them go, hey, we got to play ball with Dana White. No. Right? Dana White wants Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia doesn't need Dana White. Think about that now. Dana White, it doesn't matter for Saudi Arabia, right? They already did a big deal with PFL. They have actual stock investment in PFL, right? So if they're going to do a mixed martial arts event, they can just do PFL, right? They can do they're doing the PFL versus Bellator. I think, or it may be in Vegas. Let me double check that, right? But the bottom line, they don't need the UFC. They don't. They can do what they want to do, right? If Dana White wants to get involved, wants to hold an event in Saudi Arabia, they have to do it Saudi Arabia way. And they said, Dana White, your card is weak. We don't want it. Push this back and redo your card. Think about it. Let's stick with that. Somebody told Dana White what to do with his card. Think of it. I mean, it blows your mind to hear. Big Bad Dana, who does things his way, somebody says, fix it or we don't want it. All right? That's no matter how you want to look at it, that's a blow. That's a blow. And what are you going to say? Right? We're seeing the post, but Dana White ain't going live with that shit. What are you going to say? Hey, I ain't going to Saudi Arabia. Say it. Go ahead and say it. Right? And then it will be a wrap. Saudi Arabia will double down with the PFL and Bellator and make it all about shutting you down. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Right? But they got the money to do it. What you going to do? When it comes to Saudi, you just another promotion. You're not the big boy in town. Sucks, doesn't it? Right? But hey, like I said before, it's getting crazy in the streets. 2024 is going to be crazy. So as we look at it, it's Dana White 0, Don Davis 1. Don Davis was the first one to pull off a Saudi Arabia event that Saudi Arabia happened to like and they want more of. And Saudi Arabia decided to put money in PFL and not in the UFC. You got to ask that question. Why didn't they approach Dana White in the UFC first? You know, Dana White, I mean, if I had to be honest, the UFC got too many problems. They got this lawsuit hanging over their head, the class action suit. You know what I'm saying? They could end up losing billions, not millions, billions, right? So that's a sinking ship if you look at it from the outside looking in. Now, do they have a big, still huge platform? Yes, right? They're worth $12 billion now with the partnership with WWE, right? But WWE still got a big, debt ratio going on, right? They ain't operating in the black either. They got a lot of red going on, right? So it's not a bad bet, but the freaking put a whole bunch of money in it. Down the line, maybe, but right now they catching it. So PFL or Bellator and One Championship is the way to go for safe money right now, right? Would you really gamble on the UFC until all of this stuff gets settled, the lawsuits and whatnot? Are they really the bet you want to bet on, right? Look at the brands they chose. They chose, Bud Light as a brand to choose. Out of all the brands to choose, they chose that with all that heat and smoke they got right now. Why would you do that? Why would that be a safe bet? Or maybe that's the only one they can get that's going to pay mega money to clean up their image. Makes sense why you would go with them. We get it. But if you were a comfortable brand, would that be a risk you want to take? Would you want to take on that kind of heat? But when you got no choice, it is what it is. Strange bedfellows, right? Now, you putting together a card, you figure you can throw it in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia said, nah, your card's garbage. Don't want it. Fix it. We'll push the date back. We'll try it again. Let's get it right. Crazy. Crazy to hear it, right? But hey, welcome to 2024. Everything is coming to light. From Cat Williams and the Shay throwing all this heat everywhere, right? Everybody getting these allegations going on. All kind of stuff is coming up, right? On the positive side, you got PFL and Bellator going to do a super champion versus champion card. You know what I'm saying? They're in good. Saudi and good with Saudi Arabia. They just put on a good fight with French Ngannou and Tyson Fury. They got another fight coming up with Joshua, right? If you look on paper, the PFL seems to be winning. They seem to be winning right now, right? If you just look at the positives on that side and all the negatives on the UFC side, come on now. Come on now. Crazy. It's crazy to hear it, right? But this is where we're at. This is where we're at. Right? It's going to continue to get crazy in 2024. I can't wait. I'm loving it. Right? Gives me more content to talk about. But yeah. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. Right? Let's piece it all together, break it down, and let's look at it for what it is. Right? Crazy. All right, that's all I got. Let's go ahead and keep on doing with this daggone dance. Right? This is Coach D doing what I'm doing, calling it like I see it. talking my share of shit. To hear from me again, peace out.